Hi there, I'm Anna. I'm an entrepreneur, a marketer, and a blogger. And 3 weeks ago, one of my blogs got accepted to Mediavine, which is a premium publisher network. And in case some of you guys are considering joining Mediavine, in this video I would love to share my first impressions and tell you what was the process, what are the differences compared to Google Adsense, what's the payment process in Mediavine, and actually show you the dashboard. Let's start! So I had Google Adsense on my website for years. I even made a separate video on how much I earned on AdSense, and you can check it out if you're interested. But over time I learned about other ad networks which are more profitable. It actually all started a few years back. I heard about a company, Zoic, and you might have heard about them too. And I wanted to start with them. They actually have an incredible team. We did a Zoom call. We did some of the preparations, but there was something in the process, actually about their system, that made me reluctant. When you connect to their ad ecosystem, they make you change the DNS of your domain. And changing DNS can lead to multiple side effects that you don't want to happen with your website. It can be down for some time, which may harm your SEO positions. So I was just afraid at that time. That was a risk I couldn't take. This year, I got back on track, and I kept revisiting the idea of changing the ad network, especially after my AdSense revenue dropped to 500 euro. I had nothing to lose, so I started to research Mediavine. As you might know, Mediavine is a premium publisher network, which means you have to satisfy a few conditions to be accepted. First and foremost, 50,000 sessions per month based on the 30 days of traffic. Next, you must be in good standings with Google. And lastly, you must have GA4, but I believe at that point we all have it, right? I had over 100,000 sessions. I was in good standing with Google, but I didn't have GA4, and I kind of suspected that would make the process longer. So I reached out and filled out the application. I applied on June 29. So the first thing they do, they check whether you're eligible. And in order to do that, they ask you to connect your GA4 account to their dashboard. But as I didn't have it and I didn't want to wait 30 more days, I reached out to their team and they helped me to create a PDF from my UA. On July 7th, they sent me an email saying that they were moving forward with my application to work with Mediavine and provided access to the dashboard, which was empty at that time. The next task was to provide them access to my Google Adsense. And I really love the fact that Google knows what they're doing. It's all official. It really calmed me down. And by the way, if you're worried that you'll lose a part of your revenue when switching from Google Adsense to Mediavine, don't worry. They got you covered, and they do it just in one day. So while we were figuring out the details with their team, my Google Adsense was still working. And then for several days there was no activity, and I was guessing what is going on. Maybe they're checking and I'm not compliant with their policies or something, I don't know. In a few days they reached out to me asking whether I gave them the permission to access Google Adsense. And there was a little problem, but that problem was on my side. I didn't use that email address a lot, and then I discovered that my storage space was exceeded and I could not receive emails. Yeah. By the way, how many emails do you have? I have about 15, and it's impossible to keep up with them. And don't even ask why there are so many, they're just serving different purposes. So it took me several days to clean up the space so that I could receive emails again, and then I asked them to resend an invite. And once it was done, I received this email. The next step was the final preparation of the website for the launch. I needed to create a GA4 property in the Eastern time zone because it's obligatory, and connect it to the Mediavine dashboard. Once again, because I previously tried to connect to Universal Analytics. And simultaneously, they were testing the ads. They were running test ads on the website. And I remember that there was a very minor issue about the way the ads were displayed. Like some part was cut off, and I had to insert another part of their code on my website. And after that, on July 27, we went live. So let me share my first impressions. First of all, I was freaking out because my brain doesn't love change, and it doesn't love to engage in some risky activities, and changing the ad provider is kind of risky for me. So I was asking many questions in my mind. Can I configure the ads? I don't want my website to, look like a spammy website overloaded with ads on every single page, on every single inch of the screen. So I didn't want to do that, and I was wondering whether it's possible to disable a part of the ads, and especially if it's possible to disable the ads on some part of your website, on specific pages. That was basically my main question. Well, I assumed there is such an opportunity, but until I knew that for sure, I was very nervous. When I got access to Mediavine dashboard, that was the first thing I checked. And yes, of course, there is a way to disable ads on specific parts of your website, specific pages, templates. You can choose from a range of options. You can also disable ads partially if you want to. So there are a lot of customization opportunities, and I was more than happy with it. But there was actually another issue that freaked me out. While I was exploring their content ad settings, what I saw was gambling, drugs, casinos, black magic. Uh-oh. But again, there are a lot of customization options, and if you don't like a particular category, you can disable it. So that's what I did, at least with the ones I named. And now the most interesting part for a lot of you guys, revenue. I've been with Mediavine for less than a month, so it's really preliminary to jump to conclusions. Be aware that during the first 2 weeks, the system is adjusting to your content, so you will see lower revenue. In AdSense, my revenue was around €30 a day. In Mediavine, during the first days, it was $35, and now it's between $45 and $60 a day. Is it good for me? Am I happy? Yeah, because that's what I expected. Because I expected it to be around 2 times AdSense revenue. And quite frankly, I expected to grow further because we started in July and August, and these are dead months for my niche. That's why I'll create another video comparing AdSense revenue and Mediavine revenue for you guys, so that you know what to expect. What you need to know, and it's extremely important if you're switching from AdSense to Mediavine, is that they are paying you net 65. On this dashboard, you can see that in July I earned about $150, but I will only be getting this payment in 65 days. AdSense is paying you the money you earned in 25 days from the end of month, which means that if you switch from AdSense to Mediavine, you won't have any incoming revenue from ads for 2 months. Let me give you an example. Let's say you launched Mediavine ads on the 1st of August. You still have the money you earned with AdSense in July. So on the 22nd of August, you typically get the payment from AdSense for July, and you'll have no payment from Mediavine. In September, you don't get anything. In October, you still don't get anything because Mediavine is waiting 2 months and 5 days. And finally, on the 5th of November, you'll get your first Mediavine payment. And then obviously you'll be getting it regularly from them. These are 65 days I mentioned. Anyway, aside from the fact that you have to schedule this income gap, you are not losing anything, right? July was monetized, August was monetized, September was monetized, and it's actually pretty convenient when you see that in the next 2 months, you'll still have some revenue coming to your bank account. I guess I mentioned all the important things, and if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. I really hope this video was useful, and if it was, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching again, and see you next week. Bye.